I'm Giovanna Fernandez. I'm going to present a time series analysis on Zillow Home Value Index. This is the final project for Module 4 at Flatiron Data Science Bootcamp. For this project, we have stakeholders who are interested in investing in real estate either in San Francisco, California, or New York City. They want to see what are the best returns for 2-year and 5-year investments. We have two parts for this project. First, we're going to compare the mean returns on investment for San Francisco and New York, both for 2-year and 5-year investments. And then we're going to identify the 5 best zip codes to invest on both cities for 2-year returns and 5-year returns. We're using data from Zillow for this project. Zillow makes available their Zillow Home Value Index, which is a monthly median estimated home value for zip codes across the United States. We have 19 zip codes for San Francisco and 114 zip codes for New York City. Our data ranges from 1997 to 2018. First, we want to see how San Francisco and New York City mean Zillow Home Value Index behaves throughout our time period. You can see a few things from this graph. We can see that San Francisco, which is the darker color, has higher average home prices compared to New York City. We can also see that from 2008 to 2012, following the house bubble crisis, San Francisco suffered a little bit more of a decrease in home prices when New York City's prices remain mostly flat. We can also see that in recent years, San Francisco home values have been increasing more steeply when we compare those to New York City. We're also interested in learning about the return on investment. So for a 2-year investment, we can see that New York and San Francisco have been somewhat similar in a way. San Francisco's returns were higher than New York around 2012, and they were both having an increase, like higher returns from 2012 to about 2015, when those returns start to decline a little bit. And as of now, they seem to be on a flat trend, and they're also very close together. On the 5-year term for investment, we can see that San Francisco's, again, was a little bit higher than those of New York around 2013 to 16, and now they're both at the same level. We can also see that returns have been higher around 2016, but now they're a little lower, and we again cannot identify a clear trend for those returns. To have a better look at the most recent values, we took the average from November 2017 to April 2018, which is the past 6 months for our data. And we can see that San Francisco shows better returns. For 2-year investments, it's at 11% return. And for 5-year investments, San Francisco is much better than New York at 66% return compared to 52% return for New York. We also want to have a look at the mean investment required for our stakeholders. So again, we averaged the house value from November 2017 to April 18. And like we could see from the previous plot, San Francisco has a much higher home price. So it requires over $2 million of investment on average, whereas New York City is a little bit over $1 million. What we want to see is how this is going to behave in the future. So we use a Serimax modeling, which is a very useful time series prediction tool because it takes into account things like trends and seasonality, which are common on real estate prices. Looking at our 2-year predictions, we can see that New York City actually fares much better than San Francisco. We have 16.8% return predicted for New York. And when we look at our maximum and minimum values, we can also see that San Francisco represents a higher potential of loss with almost, with 18% possible loss at our minimum confidence interval. So for this reason, we would recommend New York City as the option for a 2-year investment. Looking at the results for a 5-year prediction, we can see that again, New York City fares better. We actually have a loss predicted for San Francisco, and our confidence interval at 95% shows that not only New York has a much better potential of return, but San Francisco represents a possibility of a very big loss. So again, our recommendation is that invest in New York City is the best option. The second part, we just identified the best zip codes to invest based on the average returns from the previous 6 months of our data. For 2-year investments in New York City, these are the best zip codes, and these are the returns on average that each show for the previous 6 months. For a 2-year investment in San Francisco, these are the best options. For a 5-year investment in New York City, we have these 5 zip codes and the respective returns for each. And for San Francisco, we have these zip codes and their respective returns. We can again see that returns in New York City are generally higher than those of San Francisco. For future work, we would recommend that we could extend this exploration to other locations in the US. We could also look at predictions for zip codes as well, and base our selection on future returns. We could try different types of models, and we could also collect more recent data to apply our model. That's it for now. Thank you so much for listening.